Hello and welcome to Solent Sports News. Coming up on today's program, lockdown is looming. There is good news for our non-league clubs in the FA Cup. But lower down the pyramid, clubs are struggling to survive. We will be live in Southampton. Also on the program, universities are allowed to stay open. Sports teams are aiming to be back in action in the new year. And we will also have a roundup of the weekend's sporting action. FA Cup teams have been given positive news over their fixtures for this weekend. Despite the COVID-19 restrictions coming into force on Thursday, and many fears over how it will affect the sport, the weekend's FA Cup fixtures have been given the go-ahead to continue. Local side Eastleigh will play against MK Dons, and Havant and Waterlooville will face Crawley Valley PM next weekend. Lowever, the same cannot be said for all non-league sides. Teams low down in the football pyramid face uncertainty over the new lockdown and current government advice. Low league team Chudley Caleva FC has claimed they will only survive 4 weeks before they declare bankruptcy. Let's cross live to our reporter Sam Clark, who is live outside Tottenham and Elling for us. Sam, what's the situation there?
Yes, thank you, Javi. It's still very unclear down here at Miller Park, like it is across the non-league spectrum. The Wessex Premier Division is still yet to hear any word on the restrictions, whether games will be played and if they'll have to be played behind closed doors. And you may have heard across the Football League it being said that football is nothing without the fans, but at this level it means even more than that. We've met all the clubs we've spoken to exclaiming how their very existence, how the fans are integral to the club's very existence.
I asked our treasurer at the start of the season to do a rundown if we had to play behind closed doors, and the club would survive for about 4 to 5 weeks. After that, well, there wouldn't be no money, basically.
Catching up on fixtures is not a new thing for non-league clubs. It's something they have to do with weather restraints and throughout all seasons. But with the already delayed start to the season and having a month off, it may prove too much to handle.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very hard. There's going to be a lot of games that we're going to have to fit in. I think a couple of years ago we had a few games where they got called off because of the bad weather, and trying to cram them in towards the end of the season was just, it's hard for everyone involved. I think we were playing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, weeks on weeks. So it's hard fitness-wise.
There's a petition going around currently, which currently holds over 70,000 signatures, trying to get grassroots football to continue throughout the lockdown. But despite this, it's looking like the gates of non-league clubs throughout the country will remain closed for the foreseeable future.
There's good news for Southampton fans, as it's been revealed this morning that their star man Danny Ings has not sustained any serious damage following a scan taken this morning. Ings was forced off the pitch with 5 minutes to go after landing awkwardly in a collision with Trezeguet. The club will continue to monitor him throughout the weekend. Tonight in the Premier League, Fulham face West Brom, with Leicester travelling away to Leeds. The last clash between Cottagers and Baggies was 7 years ago with a 1-1 at the Hawthorns. Foxes and Peacocks had their last face-to-face in the Premier League during the 2003-2004 season, when both clubs were relegated. And Bobby Charlton has been diagnosed with dementia. The former England striker's diagnosis was revealed by his wife on Sunday evening. Studies revealed that ex-football players are 3.5 times more likely to die of the disease. Charlton has joined a long time of former professionals to have been diagnosed. England will hope to push on for their Six Nations triumph at the weekend to future tournaments. They won the trophy following a 34-5 win over Italy England will hope to have similar success in the upcoming Autumn Nations Cup. Eddie Jones believes his side's second half performance played a major role in the win.
A good chat about what we needed to do. Players worked it out, so we got on with it. I was really pleased with the team's response in the second half. You know, in the first half we lost our way for 20 minutes, got a bit distracted by possibly the pressure of the scoreboard and some of the antics of the opposition team and some difficulties with the referees, and that's why it was a difficult game for us. But we got our focus and composure back at half-time, and I thought our second half effort was outstanding.
And Mercedes broke another record Formula One over the weekend. They have now won 7 consecutive Constructors' Championships, beating the previous record of 6. Mercedes won the title after Hamilton and Bottas finishing first and second, respectively. Hamilton can win a record equaling 7 championships in Turkey if he finishes within 7 points of Bottas. With the situation facing the world, Bucks has had to adapt to the new climate. Most leagues have had to put back their start date, with many sports facing a January start date. We spoke to members of the netball and badminton teams and asked them and asked their views and hopes for the eventual start of the season.
Being a part of a sports team is the highlight of many students' university experience. However, there is much uncertainty surrounding this season's Bucks fixtures due to COVID regulations. From badminton to netball, players are returning unsure if there'll be a season at all.
I think as long as the seasons can restart, hopefully, and we can get on court to play some games in January, it shouldn't be too bad, but it's just at the minute not knowing what we're training for, not having a first game in the calendar, so it's hard to sort of keep everyone motivated.
If the season goes ahead, the way that sports is played will likely change, with some sports being affected more than others. We spoke to men's badminton captain Jeff and Michael about the potential changes.
We're quite lucky for the badminton team. Obviously there's like a 5-6 metre gap between yourself and the opponents, so we're kind of okay to get back in and start training. I know some other teams aren't as fortunate, so we're just doing everything we can to kind of stay safe and sanitise and keep what we have going.
Coming off the back of a record number of university applications, with 40.5% of all 18-year-olds in the United Kingdom wanting a university experience. These numbers come as a comfort to universities who expected a drop in student attendance, and this represents a positive for Bucks sports sides. Badminton president Emma Louise Precious talks about the participation numbers this season.
We've obviously got lots of new players being the start of the year with the freshers, so we've had a lot of returners as well. There's only been one person currently that hasn't been able to return to the sport. He's currently in Hong Kong. It's our vice men's captain Tom. It is a shame, but hopefully he will return in the new year, which is when hopefully the Bucks season will start.
Despite the uncertainty surrounding the upcoming season, teams at Solent University remain optimistic for some future action.
It's kind of just getting used to the whole new dynamic of it, only having 20 girls, having to really plan ahead, register everyone, all that kind of stuff. But at the moment the girls have got high spirits, so that's all we can ask for. So we're going to see what happens, see what the government say, go from there, and if we can play in Bucks then we're going to be really happy. If not, we're just going to try and do some local games or just do inter-games.
And that's all for today on Solent Sports News. Join us next Monday for our next broadcast. Thanks for watching.